Hi everyone and welcome to day 3 of Cavemas here at the Colour Cave. Now I know I'm normally attired in some sort of festive gear, not to be outdone. Festive socks, still wearing something festive. Just before we get into the main part of the video, I would like to announce our first of 2 giveaways for our Cavemas event. Today's prize is 10 Great British Pounds worth of Amazon vouchers. It is open to everyone, it is a worldwide giveaway, but please bear in mind you must have an Amazon account to be able to receive the prize. There will be no substitutions. If you would like to enter this giveaway, what I would like you to do is go down to the comments section and leave me a fun question. One of the upcoming videos for Cavemas, Jack Russell flapping ears, one of the upcoming... Every time I try to film a video, can you see this? Can you see this? 3 dogs playing. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yes, so in order to enter this giveaway, what I would like you to do is go down into the comments section, and one of our upcoming Cavemas videos is going to be a fun Ask Me Anything video, and I am willing to answer most questions within reason, whether it is something art and colouring related or whether it's something a little bit more personal, but obviously there's a line there. So feel free. It's going to be a good laugh, and it'll be nice because I am getting to know you guys now, my subscribers who comment regularly, and it's nice for me to be able to let you get to know me as well. So if you do that and drop me a comment down below, you will be automatically entered into the draw. The other rules are if you have won a prize in the last giveaway, you are automatically not eligible. So Beth and Amber, I am terribly sorry, but you are excluded from this, and it's just to make it fair for other people. You will be able to enter the next giveaway, which will be later on in Cavemas, so please do that. If for any reason you are unable to leave a comment underneath the YouTube video, and I know some of you have problems with that, you can drop me your question via any of the social media links, which I will leave in the description and will also be at the end of the video in the end card. So get thinking and drop me some funny questions, the more entertaining the better, and that will give us some lovely entertainment for our future video. Okay, moving swiftly on. When people set me a challenge or they challenge me specifically on something, I can be quite stubborn and I kind of have to be like, yeah, I can do that, and that's kind of what happened with this drawing today. So let's get going and you can see what's happening. This piece came about due to Mr. Jem. I did want to draw something festive because I'm in that kind of jingly bell type spirit, and he said to me that I should be drawing something that is worthy of the front of a Christmas card. Not that we send a lot of Christmas cards anymore, but you know what I mean. So the first step I took was to get to the old sketchbook, and I wanted some sort of wreath to frame the picture. So here I'm just having a go at different levels of detail within a wreath, and I was trying to figure out how much to put into it without it actually taking over the picture. So you can see the first one was very simple, the second one was very detailed, and this third one kind of somewhere in between. So I plumped for that in-betweeniness, just because I didn't want it to sort of dominate over everything else that I was going to put in the picture. So as usual, I have a B sketch pencil here, just a graphite pencil, and it is in a pencil extender because it's getting very small. When I'm working in my sketchbook and I'm doing thumbnails and stuff, I tend to use a 3 or a 4B pencil, and when I'm actually doing a finished piece, I use a B or a 2B just because it's much lighter and it's much easier to erase those lines with my kneaded eraser so that they are not visible when I start to ink things if it is an ink drawing. Obviously, because the idea that this was supposed to be a picture that was fit for a Christmas card, I was going to do inking of some description. So here I am just laying down the bare bones, and the idea was to try and use up the space as much as possible on the paper. It's something that I've been consciously trying to work on, to fill up the entirety and for things to be in the centre and not slightly off to the side. Again, it's a habit I've picked up in my sketchbook. If I'm sketching small things and there's going to be multiple things on the page, I always start on the top right hand corner because I'm left-handed and it reduces smudginess and that type of stuff. So when it comes to actually doing a piece, I have to be very conscious that it goes in the middle and not on the right hand side. So what I've got here is, you can just see that very sort of faint outline. It is a reindeer, and having deer on our farm, it's something that I've studied in a fair bit of detail, and I was trying to figure out the differences between a reindeer and a normal deer, because obviously they come from the same family. And basically reindeer are just kind of like squatter, slightly less graceful looking versions of, you know, like a roe deer or a red deer. So I was trying to get that sort of stockier, more squat body, but by the same token I didn't want to go into too much detail, because this is quite a simplistic picture, but I wanted to give the idea that it was a reindeer. So in doing that, I decided to give it a big round nose, which obviously lends itself to our friend Rudolph, and most people know the song about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So that was the plan there. Now I am just darkening down those lines a little bit and fixing any mistakes, and these darker lines are the committed lines that I'm going to ink over eventually anyway. Over the space of the last 6 months, I've become a lot more confident with this. I was very, very unsure, and it's obviously just a thing that comes with experience. So I was much happier, and it managed it a lot quicker. Now I would say probably a while ago this drawing might have taken me a couple of hours, because I would sit and deliberate about lines and, you know, keep erasing parts and redrawing them, and I would be really loath to put down that heavier pencil line to say yes, that is the one I'm going to ink over. And this drawing actually only took me about 45 minutes, so I do feel as if I'm getting better and I'm getting more confident. So that was actually really nice for me, because I didn't realise it until I'd finished and I looked at the clock how long I'd actually spent drawing it. So there is definitely a lot to be said for continuing to draw and keep practicing. And as you guys know, I'm quite sort of stubborn, and I'm determined that I will keep practicing, and the things that I'm not good at, I am happy to draw and record and show everyone, because I'm a firm believer in, if I keep practicing, then one day things might look awesome without a huge amount of effort. So I'm going on to the antlers here, and I was kind of back and forth with these a few times, because I wanted enough parts of the antlers so I could hang some baubles off them, but I didn't want it to get a bit kind of crowded and start looking like tree branches, and that's a delicate balance, believe it or not. So this is me again. I just decided I reduced the number of baubles in the end up, just because it was getting a bit kind of busy at the top part of the picture there. So I had to kind of like compromise somewhere. And on the background is just the sort of leaves of the wreath, and again I tried to kind of like find a middle ground. I wanted a bit of level of detail there, but I didn't want it to sort of, you know, end up too busy and you couldn't tell which part was which, just because there's too many lines. Now I made a brave decision when it came to inking, and I decided to try out my new brush pen, and I wasn't unhappy with it, but I just realised that I need a lot of practice. My hand was quite shaky today, and I don't know why that is, but it kind of affected my brush strokes, and you can see there's a few sort of slightly suspect wiggly parts when I'm using the brush strokes, because the idea behind using a brush pen is you want nice confident strokes, because you have to be able to vary the pressure as you make a stroke to make it thicker or thinner. Overall though, I'm glad I decided to take the plunge, because again, it's one of those things, if you don't try, then you're never going to get any better at it. So I don't think it was a complete disaster in terms of using the brush pen, but also as well, it gave me those nice thick lines just along the reindeer's back there and around its neck, and that helps to make it stand out from the background more, because when I went on to do the other parts of the picture, I shifted back to the standard Pigma Micron fine liners, which is what I would normally use, and I used a much thinner line width as well, so that the deer really was in the foreground of the picture. So there you can see that's me onto my usual fine liner, and it is much easier just to draw those tiny little lines around the baubles and everything. So we are looking distinctly reindeer shape now, which is always a good thing. And at this point, it was nice to see that I had executed the deer to a reasonable standard. Now I'm going to make a disclosure here. My reference picture for my deer was the logo from John Deere, who are an agricultural company that make tractors, and obviously they have a deer on their logo, so I kind of stole it a little bit, but obviously made him a bit squishier. But it's nice to know that farming still has useful things in it that we can use in art as well. Take your inspiration from everywhere, it doesn't matter, guys. So I decided here, I'm just looking the right hand side of the picture, I decided to put a few little strings of beads in, and it was just to add a little bit of interest to that wreath and make it a bit more adorned, shall we say. I think the only part of the drawing that I kind of struggled with a little bit was the bells at the bottom of the bow. Originally it was just going to be a bow, and I decided to add in the bells again just to make the picture a little bit more interesting and, you know, have a bit more kind of going on there. So when it came to outlining the wreath, I have used a teeny tiny Pigma Micron. I think it was the 005, which is the second smallest one you can get, and the nibs are really delicate on them, so you really can't put a lot of pressure on them, but it just gives such a nice delicate line width, and it really is good for background items when you're drawing, and it tends to be my go-to. They do a 003 obviously, which is finer again, but to be perfectly honest, I can barely see the nib, let alone use it for anything, so I tend to stick with the 005, and that seems to suit me a little bit better. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me draw this, and please tell me in the comments if you think it is fit to be on a Christmas card, because I have to convince Mr. Jem that that is the case. I hope you have taken some inspiration from this picture and create something of your own. We shall see you tomorrow for day 4. Also, don't forget to leave me a question in the comment section for our upcoming Q&A, and if you want to keep watching, you can check out some of my other videos here, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching and enjoying Cavemas once again. Bye for now, guys.